Hello, we're going to talk a little bit about first contact resolution. First contact resolution is a topic of key interest all around the world in contact centres right now, and for very good reasons. It is widely seen as the management project for reducing costs and improving customer satisfaction in service organisations, so clearly it does have a high priority. The sort of savings that people have seen are substantial, and as little as 5% reduction in call volume has brought companies up to 20% improvements in profitability. So clearly it is a prize worth seeking out. The main methods of first contact resolution and what they are, the question I often get asked, and there are probably 5 or 6 main methods that are in wide use today. But I think it's probably worth saying that most people's expectation in terms of what they can achieve and do with first call resolution right now is a little overambitious, particularly against the technology that is available to them and the price of that technology at this time. I have no doubt that in 5 years' time, most contact centres will be using a off-the-shelf data analytics tool for the measurement of FCR. But the tools that are available right now, they're a mixed bunch, and let's run through them in terms of the wideness of current use and also their costs, really. And these are just my opinions, by the way. Most organisations believe that entry level into FCR is through call recording. Now, probably worth saying, basic call recording isn't really a first contact resolution tool because you have to fish so deeply to find individual repeat calls. And there's a little ratio that I use. If you multiply your believed first call resolution rate, so let's say you believe you have a 90% first FCR rate, that means 1 call in 10 is a repeat call. And if you believe you have, say, 50 repeat call reasons, as a fraction, that's 1 in 50. So in reality, to find one instance of that happening, you have to listen to 500 calls. So it's a very labour-intensive process. What some organisations do, they introduce to call recording the idea of agent tagging, and this is where the agent themselves will tag a call based on what they believe the repeat reason is. Not a bad starting point, but it has got a few holes in it because of the tendency for agents not to want to report badly on their colleagues, and being gamekeeper and poacher is not always a great idea. The other tool is people talk about caller line identity as a way of identifying from the switch when repeat calls have come in. Yes, not a bad idea, but of course, if the caller's number isn't registered or the call is barred, then you don't see the number at all. So it's got a little bit of a weakness. Now, moving into sort of slightly higher technology areas, let's think about the IVR survey. This is an automated survey which can be presented to the caller at the end of the call or slightly before the call sometimes. And it's a good method. I personally like it quite a lot because it's extremely cheap. And with the newer technology in speech-to-text recognition, it can provide a really useful idea of what's actually been said. Now, interestingly, if you take that speech-to-text and repeat call reason and look at the date stamp, the agent ID and the customer ID, you can actually play back on demand repeat calls using, if you have a low-level call recording system, you can find calls through that method. So the combination of an IVR survey and call recording, basic call recording, makes for a workman-like tool, which I think for most contact centres is probably the best option right now. Moving to the last 2 methods, speech analytics is often talked about in terms of FCR. Personally, I think it has merit, but it's far too expensive for most contact centres. And my concern with it is its ability to identify repeat calls when the caller themselves haven't actually said that they're repeat calling. And in the case of people who are trying to retrieve money, maybe they feel that overdraft charge is too much or a bill is too high, they may have called the call centre once and been refused the concession they're looking for and call back in again, time and time again. And I'm not sure whether speech analytics picks that up. Finally, data analytics. Data analytics is both the future of FCR measurement, in my view, but also at the moment, an extremely expensive solution. And with some organisations asking for $1 million a year, to implement a system. It's well beyond the reach of most organizations. But like all technologies, it will come down in price over a period of time. Data analytics is a really exceptional way of identifying FCR for three main reasons. One, it can do it across all calls and actually contacts, so not just the voice channel. Two, it can break the data down by agent, down to the agent level, allowing individual agent behaviors to be tracked and coached out. And the third reason is the fact that it can actually look at both front of office and back office repeat reasons. So the Lean and Six Sigma guys within the organization can use the data from it to look at back office failings, whilst the front of house contact center staff can use it for coaching. I think that's enough on FCR for today.